What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the certifiably suave Dr. Disaster, and even before this whole Charlie Kirk incident, I already had pretty low expectations for the Elder Scrolls 6 for a variety of reasons. After all, Bethesda's last game, Starfield, infamously had the pronoun controversy in it, where they pandered to the they-them crowd.
He's a she, he's half man, half woman. What?
But what has been very disconcerting has been seeing the developers that are working in this studio and on this game. It quickly became clear what Bethesda has become and why Starfield was made the way it was. First of all, a few months back, this image was circulating around on social media featuring 3 women who work at Bethesda, who look like they should be working in the HR department and giving lectures on the dangers of cis white males or something like that.
I find you repulsive in a way that's difficult to quantify.
And then we found out recently that John Dombrow, one of the main writers for Dragon Age the Veilguard, which should tell you everything you need to know about this dude as a writer, he was just hired by Bethesda to be a senior quest designer, so you could definitely tell which direction the studio was going. All of that was bad enough, but now we are seeing more evidence as to how widespread all of this is. A producer at the studio, someone high up, has shown that they are an awful violence monger, celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk.
You're an emotional f***ing cripple. Your soul is dog shit. Every single f***ing thing about you is ugly.
Just like with Ghost of Yotei and Sucker Punch, we have to keep calling this shit out. Sucker Punch ended up firing the developer that was celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, but they refused to make a statement because they know they'd lose sales over it from the progressive nutbags. Well, these studios like Bethesda need to make a stand and get rid of the pieces of crap who are cheering on violence. Microsoft just put out this statement on social media claiming that they are taking this stuff seriously, and hopefully the walls are closing in on this Bethesda producer who deserves to lose her job. Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've had a lot of people tell me that they have been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel, so make sure that you check on that. And there has been a lot of talk about restricted mode being automatically enabled for a lot of users on YouTube, which would cut you off from a lot of your favorite channels. So don't forget to check into that as well, and turn it off if it has been turned on and you don't want it. But alrighty then, let's look at what this piece of garbage actually posted on social media, this producer at Bethesda, talking about Charlie Kirk. I was made aware of this by this tweet here from Madam Savvy over on X, so shout out to her for organizing all of this information. She wrote in this tweet, "Wow, Bethesda producer going above and beyond to celebrate. Crab rave, feeling fancy, and then endless retweets of lies and fear-mongering. This isn't just some low-level worker. This is a producer who feels fine saying all this, probably surrounded by others so full of hate. I knew Bethesda went into the trash, but this badly?" And if you look here, this is the profile of this person on Blue Sky. She calls herself Piddlebucket and describes herself as a producer at Bethesda. She lists her pronouns because of course she frickin' does. And then here are the posts Madam Savvy was describing, where right after Charlie was killed, she wrote, "I'm feeling fancy." should I order fancy takeout for no reason? And then underneath that was the crab rave that Savvy described, and then she reposted this, which says, "You are under no obligation to mourn the death of people who would have celebrated yours." And that might be the most ignorant damn thing I have ever heard anyone say about Charlie Kirk. Above all the things, the dude was absolutely a man of peace, reaching an olive branch out consistently on these college campuses where he spoke and having a dialogue with people who hated him. He didn't have to do that. It would have been much easier and a whole lot safer, quite obviously, to just sit in a cushy little studio and criticize these people there. But he was so damn committed to peace and bridging the gap that he put himself in harm's way. And yet these ghouls act like he was the boogeyman or something. And of course, that's only because they couldn't beat him. Violence is the tactic of people who can't win, who can't articulate their positions in a debate. But anyhow, this Bethesda producer also reposted this. "They'll ask you to mourn the deaths they mourn and no others. They'll ask you to cherish the lives they cherish and no others." And of course, this is absolutely projection. When it was announced that Joe Biden has terminal cancer, I don't recollect anyone on the right-wing side of things celebrating. There may have been a few isolated cases, but people on that side of the political spectrum have no problem disavowing that sort of behavior. Anyhow, then this person also reposted this. It says, "This is why liberals can't defeat fascism. Nazism is not a political disagreement." And then under that, they posted a news story which says, "Charlie Kirk has been shot. This heinous and vile attack is a stain on our democracy. Violence must never be the answer to political disagreements." So clearly this person at Bethesda is just trying to justify the violence. And the thing is, and never forget this folks, but the reason these people shout fascist so often, the reason that they call people like Charlie Kirk these awful, hyperbolic names is because they need it to be true. Because if it isn't true, then people like Piddlebucket here are horrible human beings calling for the deaths of innocent persons. This is also why they will never back down from these claims of theirs. But anyway, there are a lot more posts like this one from Piddlebucket, but Microsoft finally has said something that for once is not completely skewed toward progressive partisan interests. They posted this on social media in response to a variety of employees being called out under their umbrella, including some Blizzard Activision employees that I've heard rumblings about as well. But anyhow, Microsoft said, "We're aware of the views expressed by a small subset of our employees regarding recent events. We take matters like this very seriously, and we are currently reviewing each individual situation. Comments celebrating violence against anyone are unacceptable and do not align with our values." And Microsoft really needs to take action here, because this right here is from their own digital safety website. It says here, "At Microsoft, we recognize that we have an important role to play in preventing violent extremists, including terrorists and terrorist groups, from abusing online platforms. We do not allow content that promotes or glorifies violent extremists." Well, my dudes, it is pretty damned hypocritical to make that your mission when your own employee is out there glorifying blatantly violent extremism. And then, on this same digital safety page, it says here that Microsoft does not permit content that encourages violence against other people through violent threats or incitement. And then, after those two bullet points, it says, "We also do not allow the glorification of violence through content that celebrates or supports real acts of violence causing serious physical harm to people or groups, including violence that happened in the past. Once again, it seems pretty damned hypocritical to claim to be against violence when you are apparently still employing someone like Piddlebucket. I encourage everyone to do the same thing that we did with the employee at Sucker Punch. I have an email address for Bethesda listed in the description of this video. Everyone should send them multiple emails letting them know what we think of their employee. Don't swear or curse, don't threaten anyone. This is very important, because if you do any of that stuff, then they will disregard anything that you say, and we are no better than these violent pieces of progressive crap. Instead, though, let them know in the most adorably polite manner possible that you simply refuse to buy any games from Bethesda or from Xbox as a whole for that matter until all of the employees that posted this sort of thing are gone and Microsoft makes another public statement letting us know that these people were fired and letting us know why they were fired. It pains me to say this, since I am a massive Elder Scrolls fan who has waited a decade and a half almost for a sequel to Skyrim, but I will not even give that game a chance if they don't do this. In any case, drop your contempt for Bethesda into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.